Hello my friends, welcome back to Garhdo Goes Geek. I'm just hoping to give you a brief little update about the future of this podcast and when you can expect the upcoming episodes for season 5. So, not quite the last time you heard from me, as I've done a couple of reviews since, but in the last major update that I did, I revealed that obviously due to the WGA and SAG Aftra strikes, I didn't feel right making content about struck work. In solidarity with the striking unions, I didn't want to promote, some of the films and TV shows and video games and other things that I was making content about. Now, at the minute, the strikes do seem to be over. WGA have formed a deal with the American Motion Picture Association a few weeks ago. That was then ratified by their membership. The SAG Aftra strike has been called off. Their deal is currently pending ratification by the membership, but that's fully expected to go through. As it is, there were talks of other strikes, such as against the video game industry by SAG Aftra and strikes for VFX unions. But so far they have not materialised. So if they do, that might change and I may once again go on hiatus. But for now, with the fact that the strikes do seem to be over, I am looking at, continuing to publish some of the episodes I've been working on. Obviously, I have been working on episodes throughout this entire period, but I'm going to be completely honest and with full transparency for anyone who follows me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. may already be aware of this. It's not something I've really shared on YouTube. I have been struggling a lot with my mental health recently. You can find me on all my socials just by searching Garhdo. I'm on Threads, Instagram, Reddit, Facebook, pretty much everything. By all means, sorry, I'm laughing at Tallulah tiptoeing in. But yes, I am on all these socials, and I do have the links in my link tree as well. I have been struggling with my mental health. There's a lot getting on top of me right now, which is one of the reasons why I speak quite openly about my mental health here, is because I want to be honest with my own struggles with it, to encourage other people that if you are struggling, that you also seek help with it. I have help. I have a pretty good support network. I'm on medication. I'm not in any danger of self-harm or anything like that, but obviously things are tough. And it means that I haven't always been able to come at the podcast with the full amount that I want to. And as a result, while I was still recording episodes during my hiatus, some of them aren't as complete as I would like. There's still some background watching that I need to do, some re-watching for some things. So they will all be coming, but it will take time. I do have a few reviews that are due to release fairly soon. I need to get the video files up because I don't want to release them in audio form without also having the video files ready to upload on YouTube. So the reviews I have upcoming are for Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, which ties into a Power Rangers episode that I have later on in Season 5. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. That was the DLC for the main Cyberpunk 2077 game. Again, I also have a podcast episode coming up on Cyberpunk 2077. So I will be going in more full depth there, but this is more sort of looking at like a spoiler-free review of the DLC itself. I've also done a review of DC's most recent film, Blue Beetle, which I really enjoyed, and Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 2. Obviously, I have done a previous review for Strange New Worlds as well, which I did enjoy. It was a lot of fun, that one. And Season 2, again, was very, very good. Regarding the rest of that, I've got a few other reviews. Obviously, I have planned for the rest of this year. I'm aiming now, obviously, the original goal was to get a lot of these episodes out sort of by December, January at the latest. But I think now we're probably going to be looking at the April anniversary. So by sort of the start of April, that's when I'm hoping to have this season concluded. And obviously, some of the episodes that were meant to have been out during the time that I've obviously been on hiatus due to the strike, these were obviously planned to be released a lot earlier. The Cyberpunk episode was originally, I originally wanted to get that out for August, because, that's when the Arasaka Tower incident happens in the universe of Cyberpunk 2077. Power Rangers, the anniversary of that is the end of August, so that's when I was planning to do that, and so on. A lot of these episodes were tied around anniversaries or events within their fictional universes. But I thought I'd be completely honest here and give you the idea of what I have planning to come out. So, and where everything sits. So I've got those 4 reviews ready to go. There's a couple of other reviews I have planned, which are in various stages of the recording process at the minute. First of all, there is a review for Apple TV's Strange Planet, done by Nathan Pyle. I enjoyed that quite a lot. There's a review for the Boys spin-off Gen V. There's a review for The Last of Us. There's a review for Good Omens, both Series 1 and Series 2. Going to do sort of a combined review of both of those. Star Trek Lower Decks I've been reviewing as well. Star Trek Prodigy I'm looking to finish and review when that comes out at the end of December. And obviously Loki Season 2, Secret Invasion, The Marvels, a lot of these other big films. Very much looking forward to reviewing them. Now, some things may double up as well. There's a couple of other films from last year I've been able to catch up on recently. Things like Megan and 65, which were both very good. There's a couple of other things like The Creator that I'm really hoping to try and get to see in the near future, so I can do a review for that. But essentially, we're going to see how that goes. So that's the review content. Besides the reviews, I'm also looking at the current Season 5 content. So Episode 5 is currently planned as a memoriam of the DCEU. So obviously the DC Extended Universe is coming to an end. I'm looking at just sort of discussing, the films in there, what happened to them, how well the universe built or didn't, and just kind of doing sort of a post-review of everything, similar to my How the MCU Changed Hollywood, where I kind of reviewed every episode every film in the Infinity Saga. It's going to be similar to that. The majority of that is recorded already, so that one should be able to come out quite soon. I think I've got a little bit of addendum to do regarding the most recent movies, especially The Flash, which I have not seen yet. Then I've got an episode on Cyberpunk 2077, as I said, and a 30-year retrospective on Power Rangers, which has obviously had its recent anniversary. I'm a big Power Rangers fan, so I just wanted to gush about one of my favourite franchises. I've got parts 2, 3, and 4 of my Doctor Who retrospective for the 60th anniversary. Obviously, part 2 is the 11th Doctor, part 3 is going to be the 12th Doctor, and part 4 is the Chris Chibnall era. I'm currently still watching my way through a lot of those episodes. I finished the 11th Doctor's stories. I just need to get that episode recorded. The 12th Doctor, I'm kind of partway through their stories. I was hoping to be further ahead by now, but unfortunately, that is how it is. I'm going to be doing an episode on Pacific Rim, which is a film I absolutely love. It's going to be similar in some respects to my Independence Day video, Independence Day episode that came out last year, because obviously I'm going to be contrasting the first and the second film. I'm doing an episode for the X-Men because their 60th anniversary is this year. So again, sort of a retrospective on everything X-Men, because the X-Men are my absolute favourites. They were my first real comic heroes that I got interested in reading. My first comics were all random X-Men issues. So that's what I wanted to talk about there. Some other anniversaries this year, we've got The Matrix, Jurassic Park, so obviously I'm doing some episodes there. The Terry Pratchett episode for the Discworld that I'm going to be doing with Zulu, just sort of an introduction to the first few books. Again, I'm not as far along with those as I was planning to be by this point, so it will be coming out soon, but it's going to be delayed a bit. I'm also planning an episode on the Resident Evil franchise, because we're several years after the in-game date of the destruction of Raccoon City, and my episode is mainly focusing around Raccoon City and the Umbrella Corporation. And then some other things I want to discuss. I want to discuss the Doom franchise. I want to discuss the classic Superman movies with Christopher Reeve, the Blade trilogy, Rick and Morty, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Star Trek Picard as well, which obviously recently wrapped. I wanted to see, was that worth it in the end? And then finally, I've got a big setup episode for Disney's Star Wars. So I'm going to be looking at the sequel trilogy, the solo, the separate Star Wars stories, so Rogue One and Solo, and the spin-offs as well that we've had, so Kenobi and Andor, and that's going to be a big setup for a look at the Dave Filoni-verse, which I have planned for next year. I also have a couple of Halloween episodes that obviously, had the strike been concluded, they would have been out by now. It's going to feel a bit weird releasing Halloween specials as we get closer to Christmas. But, again, there's a reason I chose these particular films. It's because they have anniversaries coming up. So we have Killer Clowns from Outer Space, They Live, and Halloween, all of which had anniversaries this year. Halloween, I'm going to be looking at the first two films because obviously that's the groundwork for a lot of the reboots that franchise has had over the years. They Live is a film I've been wanting to see for many, many years. Same with Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And I just wanted to review them and discuss them. So they're going to be Halloween specials, but following more of the review aspect, sort of looking at them and what they do. I do also have a Christmas special planned, and if I've done my maths right, every episode I currently have planned will take me up to 99 episodes, and that's for the reviews and the main body of work, and obviously bonuses and news stories. So that means that I will be looking to release a 100th episode special. And obviously I'm aiming to get that out in April for the anniversary, hence why everything has kind of been pushed back to then. So, yeah, that is the current plan at the minute. That's the guide as to everything that is currently planned for this season. So I'm quite excited about a lot of this. There's a lot here that I really enjoyed, and like I said, a lot of it is either part or fully recorded already. It's just the video aspects that I want to get working on before I release them all, so I can release them all in tandem. But I'm hoping to start regular releases very soon, and hopefully we can get these all out I'm hoping to get a decent chunk of them out before Christmas, obviously, including all the Halloween specials, and then hopefully we can actually bring most of it to a conclusion, like I said, by April next year, so that we can, in April for the anniversary, I can launch the 100th anniversary episode. So, because that just, I think, would be a nice one to sort of reach that milestone with, because it would be the third anniversary of the podcast, 100th episode. I just think that's a nice tie together. And then regarding next year, the original plan before everything got pushed back was to do sort of one big episode a month. I'm not going to discuss what sort of things I'm looking at next year, besides obviously the Dave Filoni Star Wars elements that I've already discussed. So that's things like Rebels, The Mandalorian, Ahsoka. They're all kind of going to be looked at in their own episode. But obviously there's a few other things that have big anniversaries in 2024, basically, that I'm, sort of looking at doing episodes of. And then obviously, other reviews that I might tie into that, some minor things that are going to get either new reviews or retro reviews almost. And, they've recently added all of Classic Who to the BBC iPlayer. So, hopefully I might start watching my way through some of that as well. And we'll get, episodes on the Third Doctor, the Fourth Doctor, and so on. I wanted to start with the Third Doctor because from there, every episode is there. Whereas for the First and Second Doctor, they still have quite a lot of episodes missing, including, for example, the Second Doctor's companion, Jamie. His entire first serial is missing. And that means those episodes aren't on iPlayer. Unearthly Child, which is the First Doctor's first episode serial, isn't on iPlayer. So, due to some legal shenanigans, that's why that one's not there. So obviously there's certain things that, I am looking at doing next year. I don't want to give too much away, but there's some interesting geek topics there that I want to kind of do big deep dives on the franchise, or look at a particular element of the franchise and discuss it, and then maybe come back to it. And that's going to be what season 6 is. And then I'm looking at sort of following that pattern, so it kind of reduces the amount of overall episodes that you might get in a year from me, but it will align more with my workload, my mental health, so it'll probably be better for the ongoing production of the content on this channel, but also create a better listening experience for yourselves and a better working experience for myself. I want to be able to give you the best content I can, and so that's what I'm planning on doing. So hopefully discussing all this has you all excited. You're interested in what's coming up, and if that's the case, brilliant, because there's a lot here I'm really looking forward to. Yes, a lot of it is based on Star Trek or Marvel, and if those aren't necessarily the same fandoms that you have, you may be like, well, where's all the Star Wars content? Where's all the fantasy content? It's coming. I have loads planned. Loads of, I'm very neurodivergent. I have a lot of fandoms. There's a lot of things I want to watch, and there's a lot of things on my watch list that I'm now going to be using the podcast as almost an excuse to go back and watch, to go back to series for the first time and be like, well, this franchise has its big anniversary this year and I've never seen it, but I've always wanted to, so let's go back and have a look at it and watch it. And that's what I'm hoping to do. So there's a lot here I'm very excited about, and I'm hoping that it will make you excited as well. So that's everything I have planned for now. I hope you're as excited for it as I am. Until the next time we meet over these airwaves, I hope you look after yourself, do the very best to look after your physical and mental health, and take the utmost care of yourself. You're all amazing. I'm so happy every time I look on and see that I've had new views, new listens. I am so happy that people are just engaging with the podcast and what I have to say. I'm very grateful for every single one of you. In the meantime, I'm going to be much more active on Discord at the minute than anything else I'm currently doing. So, I'm kind of drifting away from a lot of other social medias for my own mental health. So you can find me on Discord, you can find me on Instagram. The links, as always, are in my link tree. If you would like to commission a future episode, or if you would like to just reach out and financially support me, you can do so on Ko-Fi. I'd be very grateful, but of course you don't have to. Times are hard for everyone, I understand that. Until next time, you all look after yourselves, and I'll speak to you next time. Goodbye for now.
Thank you, my friends, for once again joining me on Garhdo Goes Geek. Your continued support for this podcast means the absolute world to me, and I am grateful for every single one of you who stays and listens to one of my episodes. It means the absolute world. Now, if you would like to engage more with me or the podcast, we have a Discord community, small but growing, and we now have commissions open on Ko-Fi. So if there's a topic you would like to see me cover, you can pay me to cover it. All funds will be used for legal purchase of the relevant items where I do not have them. Have a look on the link tree for more information. Until next time, look after yourselves.